Hello everybody, this is Enayat Meer. I am back for my video 4, and in this video I will show you how to install a standalone offline root CA, but pre-configuration is very important to know about that. So I will explain about CA policy.inf file. So let's see where I left off. I'll go back to in my YouTube video, and then I will put my name. So just we're gonna catch where we left over, and that was a part 3, part 1, part 2. This is a part 1, part 2. Either I click on part 2, and under description, let me see that the right video. This is part 1, deploying an hierarchy. Okay, not this one, not this one. This is CA Hierarchy CBT video part 1, and under part 1, and you will see the description. Under description you have a part 3. This is a part 3. So I'm gonna close part 1 on the back here, and this is my part 3. Under part 3 we left over. If I move on all the way, we left over at this part. So I installed web server. At the end, I was at the last moment where I showed you on my server. I'm going to install a root CA. So install the standalone root CA. So this is my CA Hierarchy CBT video A part 3, and I'm going to do this part 4. So I'm gonna close this, and you're gonna go right over here, and I can just show you now. I nicely arranged my servers under my remote desktop connection manager window. So here we have CA01, which will act as a standalone. So let me move this into my recording window. So this is my CA01. 192.168.0.30 is an IP address, and it is a standalone. It's not a part of a member. It's not a member server, actually not part of any domain. My domain is nycdc1. Here I can go log into my domain. Actually I have promoted this as a domain controller, so I can use this like as a contoso administrator, and my password. Okay, so this is a domain controller which is up and running. It is a contoso.com. So if you look at my Active Directory, and this is up and running, this is my live domain. So I'm going back into my CA01. So this is a little bit convenient window where you can see above is my ADFS setup, Active Directory Federation server setup, and the below is my certificate authority CA setup. So we are mostly working on CA01, and I'm gonna switch back and forth between my servers setup and my study guide, which I said that you also can obtain this guide to go along. So first I have to log into my CA01 as an administrator, and I have to set up my policy, CA policy.inf file. So that's supposed to be under my Windows directory on my client PC. So I'm going back into, and the rest actually what you see here, you have to create that one. I have done it already, but I will explain to you how I have done it up to this point, and I will explain to you the details. So here I am going back into my CA01 server, go into my Explorer, under my computer, under C and Windows, I have to create a new text document. Okay, this is a text document, and this name supposed to be CA policy.inf. so that is actually name of this file. So now I have to actually I will go to my date modified, and you should see on the top right over here. So far it is nothing in here, but I have a data which I supposed to post in. I have already prepared this all. So you have to look at this all version, this all step by step. So first section, second, third, and these 4 sections. So we have these 4 sections available to you, and that actually I'm gonna explain to you one by one, and what this section number 1 is, what is the section number 2 is, and why do we have this, and what are the purpose of this one. So I will explain to you, and I have a separate document for that which I will show you also step by step. So first I will stop this one, close this window, and I saved it. So that's what we're supposed to have. The next part is explanation. So what are those terms what we are using? So let me explain to you, but I have to pull up my file first. So here is my file which I prepared separately, and you can see that we have certificate installation that I am performing for root CA has 3 parts. So we are on pre-configuration part right now. Then we are going to go and add the role from server manager. Then we have a post configuration. So these 3 parts we are performing. So I just showed you, I created a file under C Windows on my CA01, and then I pasted the components in that file. So I'm going to actually explain to you. I'm adding a different background on this file. So copy as it is and just change your domain name where I added contoso.com. So in my file you will see this section contoso.com. You have to actually change with your own domain name. So first I'm gonna go to this different color schemes where I have. So this file is actually let me go back into to show you. This is the file where I'm explaining to you here. First, a version signature equal $Windows NT $sign. So this is the very first line what you have in every CA server. So this identifies the file as a setting file. So this part simply needs to be copied and pasted to the top of the file and is always the same, no difference for root CA or subordinate CA. But there is no need to change any part of this file right from here. That was the first one. So second one, you're gonna see here policy statement extension, and policies equal internal policy. So this part indicates the policies that relate to the certificate. So these policies do not affect the operation of certificate authority or how the certificates work. So they define how the certificate can be used, just like a license agreement that would define how a piece of software can be used. So the policies defined in the settings file are embed in each certificate, so the person using the certificate is able to read them or can find where to look up them. And then you gonna go down to internal policy, this one right over here, okay, and this is internal policy. So that part is an example of a policy. The OID is an object identifier, is a unique number. Actually you would see this in every file like that, you don't have to change that one. So this is called object identifier. The notice setting is the text that is embedded in the certificate, and the URL is a link to where the user certificate can download the policy text if they wish. And the other parts are, I can explain all of them actually, the rest of them. These are, or actually I can go through my file. You will see I explained to you about the first part, then second part, and then the third part, okay. And then I go down here, and these are basically few lines what we have at the end, I can explain to you these file all or whole in one. So these settings determine renewal key length, how long the certificate will be valid for signature logarithm, and when certificate revocation list time differences are sent out. So a lot of the settings are combined with a second setting ending in units. When combined, determines the amount of time and whether it is in hours, weeks, months, or years. Alternate signature logarithm uses a nuke encryption method which requires Windows Vista and Windows Server 2008 or above, or R2 2008 or 2012. And then you have a curl delta period which is set to 0. CRLD is a certificate revocation list actually. So that is set to 0. The delta period determines when updates to CRL or certificate revocation list are sent out. So the root CA is not connected to the network, so it is impractical to have the root CA sent out changes to the certificate revocation list. So it is best to disable it by setting the value to 0. As you see that at the end I mentioned that this curl delta period units set to 0. So this was a little bit very common explanation actually what I just explained to you about these few sections of this INF CA policy.inf file. So yeah, I just did this one. I went back and explained to you, and now we have this file available ready, and now we are ready to add this role into our server. So then we're gonna do post configuration part of that server. So adding this role is as simple as we went through before. Server manager, let me close this file. This file is now under my Windows directory, and I can close that one, and I can go into my server manager, and then from here you're gonna go click on roles, and we are going to use a server manager by adding a role which is a Active Directory certificate services role. Okay, so that is, I'm installing this one, and I will click on next on this window and next on this window, and then we have to choose role services. This is my role services page, certificate services, which is automatically selected. At this moment we are not going to select anything else. So we have a certificate authority. This will become a root CA, and you can see that automatically I see this is not a domain member. That is why enterprise is not available. So you will see standalone only on workgroup, which are not under the domain. So it is automatically selected. I just gonna let it go like that. Now the next part is a root CA, and we're gonna actually choose root CA. We're not gonna choose a subordinate at this time. So I'm going to select a root CA and create a new private key or use existing key. So I'm not using an existing key. In other words, right, you would see a small note actually under your document when you're gonna scroll down, that that will explain to you that why we are not using an existing key, because this is a brand new certificate server, and also you can read about this option also from this window. So I'm leaving it like that, and here you're gonna have a key length. So in this way it depends in a real life production environment what you want to choose. So currently you can see a default setting, and CSP is a cryptographic service provider, which basically what we have default selected with RSA. So it depends, like you want to change your key character length, or you want to change any hash algorithm right from this point, and or you want to leave it default. So default SHA-1 should be selected, yes. So I will leave it 2048 key length, and I will choose a SHA-1, and here you have to choose your certificate name. So it depends like how your production environment is and how do you want to change. So what I'm gonna do here, I will use my domain name Contoso, and this is my root and CA. So I will use my Contoso root CA, and you will see my preview distinguished name right over here. So this is my certificate name. All right, so it will automatically verifies, and now validation period. Okay, so here if you look at my INF file, actually that describes you're supposed to have for root CA is supposed to be about 20 years, 20. So I would change this 5 to 20. If you look at my CA policy.inf file, you will see actually as well that one. So for that reason I'm leaving this 20 years, and I will leave the default path for the database, and I'm gonna click on next, and just read the warnings here, because when you have a certificate installed, if you are under a domain, or you are a domain controller, that could be a problem. You cannot remove domain unless you remove your domain. But look at the settings here and today's date and time, and just click on install, and this will take a while, and this will install in few minutes. Active Directory Certificate Services, as you can see on the top, it will tell you Active Directory Certificate Services. Alright, so we just have completed installation of Active Directory Certificate Services. I'm closing right from here. So up to now we went into the guide at the end of page 14. So this is 13, and we went through the installation part of this one, and we went throughout this page, and the next page will start a post root CA installation. So I don't want to keep these videos actually very long, so I want to stop here, and until you absorb this all, and you keep following my these video series. So I will see you in next video where I do post installation, and after that what we do here, we're gonna do post installation, and then after that we're gonna enable auditing on the root CA, and after that we're gonna configure AIA, which is authority information access, and a CDP, the certificate revocation list distribution point. We're gonna do those with quite long and good commands actually. So that will be my next part, which will be actually part number 4, and I would like to thank you for watching this part 4 video, and this is Enayat Meer, and please keep watching my next video. I'm coming back with my next video in few minutes. Thank you.